Today is a WRAL weather alert day. There could be some light icing up near the Virginia line. The rest of us likely to see some rain. I'll show you the timeline.
And with that, we are watching the roads. This is a live look right now as we check out I-40 in Raleigh as we keep an eye on those roads for any wet spots out there.
Breaking news, 2 dead in an early morning crash. We'll show you the scene in Clinton.
And we'll give you this live look at the U.S. Capitol this morning, where members of Congress will certify President-elect Donald Trump as president today. The security measures there ahead of the vote count. This is January 6th, 2025. 4:30 is the time right now. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Great to have you with us on this Monday, a WRAL weather alert day as people get back to school and back to work and back to their normal routine. It's going to feel miserable out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center as we're tracking this rain moving in. See some pink on the radar.
Yeah, so the pink means a wintry mix. And so that sometimes is sleet and sometimes it's freezing rain. And freezing rain is where we have just a wet, big old wet raindrop, but it falls into an area where it's frozen, where the temperatures are below freezing. And it creates that icy glaze everywhere. That is most likely up near the Virginia line. So Mecklenburg County, Virginia, potentially up around Roxborough. Other than that, it's most likely going to be rain. Now, we had some sleet yesterday in the afternoon in a lot of places, a little bit of snow too in some of our north and western counties. It's less likely that we would see any snow this morning. Most of this is going to be rain. But you see how Futurecast does show these patches of pink for just a few hours this morning. By the time we get to 9 or 10 o'clock, that should be mostly over. And we're going to see some showers. So it'll be messy during the noontime hour, but then after lunchtime, it all moves on out. We will see much colder air. It is possible, if there's any precipitation left, that there could be a few snow showers in our northern counties during the evening. But again, that would just be folks up near the Virginia line. So we do have a winter weather advisory that's in effect for parts of the area this morning from Durham northward and over toward Roanoke Rapids. Really, in that area, you're going to want to watch out for some slick bridges. So there may be mostly this is going to be some cold rain, a little bit of a mix, turning drier and windy this afternoon, and then it may end as a little bit of snow and sleet. And we'll talk more about the temperatures that go with this coming up, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Because of the weather we've got rolling in, we've got the WRAL Storm Tracker out on the roads this morning in I-40 westbound. Let's check in with Kelsey Coffey. Give us an idea of what she's seeing right now. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, Ken, good morning. So far we haven't seen any rain just yet on our commute. So right now we're on 40, but we're headed towards I-85 towards Hillsborough to see if we can see any rain there. So far so good as far as the morning commute. You may see some wet roads due to those overnight showers. So just be careful as you're headed out on your morning drive. Ken, what else can you tell folks?
Well, we're going to keep it in Durham, Kelsey, and give folks another vantage point. This is a live look at the Durham Freeway and Briggs Avenue. You can see just a sheen on the road this morning, just wet road conditions. Bringing it back to Wake County, this I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road traffic has not picked up a bit, which is good news this morning. So let's look at some drive times coming into the capital city. Right now, very little to no delays if you have any appointments coming into the capital city. Similarly, in Durham, no delays whatsoever looking at this hour of the morning. You're getting ready to head out because of the weather rolling in. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
Several school systems in our viewing area are closed or on a delayed start today in response to the winter weather. Wake County schools are on a normal schedule today. So this map shows the school systems affected. Durham, Orange, Franklin, Northampton, and Warren County schools will be on a 2-hour delay today. Vance and Person County will be closed. We are running closings at the bottom of your screen. Also, for a full list that's constantly updating, go to WRAL.com.
Today here in the WRAL Live Center, what I'm doing essentially is watching the feeds that we have here. This is some of the live video that we have from left to right. There was a video from Maryland. That one since has went off, but we have a reporter there in Columbus, Ohio, Indianapolis next to that, and then New Jersey, just kind of showing people what the weather looks like outside. And I show that because I want you to get a look at the cancellations and delays situation that we have going on here. Let me go ahead and step over so I can show you what I'm talking about. So we're looking at 21 different cancellations reported at RDU as of this morning right now, and just before delays. And if we look at the misery map, we can get a good idea of what that looks like. There's actually a little timeline. If I press play, it shows you what it's been like over the last several hours, taking us to right now. 50 cancellations and 50 delays tracked across the United States. And if you look closely at where D.C. is, it's all red at the different airports there. So that just shows you, as Mark says, misery there on the map. So we're going to keep looking at the different airports and the different delays and cancellation situations all morning here at the WRAL Live Center.
Now, this winter storm is bringing massive accumulation to other parts of the country, and up to 4 million people right now under blizzard warnings across much of eastern Kansas and western Missouri. They are seeing a dangerous combination of snow, ice, and freezing rain. Roughly 10 inches of snow has already fallen in parts of Kansas, with snow and sleet totals predicted to top 14 inches. You can count on WRAL no matter what comes our way, and we'll bring you the very latest updates on weather coverage on WRAL.com, WRAL News Plus, and on the WRAL app.
Breaking this morning, 2 people are dead after a crash in Sampson County near Clinton. This is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker around 12:30 this morning on Reedsford Road. Highway Patrol says the car veered off the road and into a ditch. They say the driver was not wearing a seatbelt. We will bring you any information about the people who were killed in this crash as we learn more.
We're also working to learn if anyone was hurt in a shooting at a Red Roof Inn in Raleigh. This is video from that scene from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Police say this happened around 9 last night at the motel on Arrow Drive Road. You can see the gun there laying on the ground. We are waiting to find out what led up to that shooting, if anyone was hurt or if anyone was arrested.
Today, Durham Public Schools is expected to talk about solutions to bus driving shortages. Last month, the school board voted to implement family responsibility zones on January 21st. That means families who live within 1.5 miles of the school will not have bus service. Rotational bus service is scheduled to end January 17th. The board is working on a plan for express bus stops for certain magnet schools. The meeting starts this evening at 5.
This is a live look right now. A little fog around the U.S. Capitol. This afternoon at 1 o'clock, Congress will meet formally to certify Donald Trump as president. House Speaker Mike Johnson says the massive winter storm moving across the U.S. will not keep Congress from meeting. Fencing and some other barriers have been set up around the Capitol this morning. Police have shut down several streets for today's proceedings. Today marks 4 years since a mob attacked the building, trying to delay the certification of President Biden's victory. Last night, President Biden reflected on the events of January 6th while holding a reception for new Democratic members of Congress. He says what happened 4 years ago should never happen again.
Now it's your duty to tell the truth, to remember what happened, and not let January 6th be rewritten or even erased. To honor the Constitution, not only the most extraordinary of days, but it's one of the toughest days in American history, January 6th.
Well, this is very exciting.
This weekend, President-elect Donald Trump still reprimanded his former Vice President Mike Pence for not rejecting the Electoral College votes 4 years ago. Vice President Kamala Harris will oversee the counting of Trump's Electoral College votes today.
In the last game of the NFL regular season, the first seed in the NFC playoffs was finally determined. The Detroit Lions beat NFC North rival, the Minnesota Vikings, 31-9 to claim the #1 seed. It was the first meeting in league history between 2 teams with at least 13 victories. This is also the highest postseason seed in Lions franchise history. The Vikings will open the postseason next Monday, January 13th in Los Angeles, playing the Rams. And the Lions will return to the field either January 18th or 19th, depending on the playoff schedule.
Carolina Panthers wrapped up the regular season on a positive note, beating the Atlanta Falcons in an overtime thriller yesterday, 44-38. The final. Quarterback Bryce Young had another career game, threw for 251 yards, 3 touchdown passes, and scored twice, running it on the ground. Possibly the most memorable moment of Sunday's game, the third quarter right here. Young found tight end Tommy Tremble wide open for a 10-yard touchdown. And with the win, the Panthers will now wait to see which draft pick they'll get.
It is 4:39, a change for Trudeau. What sources close to the Canadian Prime Minister are saying about his future as the country's leader.
Charges for traffic congestion. Why some say New York City's new congestion pricing plan could delay emergency response times.
And this is a live look at Durham from the American Tobacco campus, where much of the area will be seeing rain. Some northern communities seeing freezing rain moving through this morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will tell us how long we can expect trouble spots as we get back into that routine of school and work.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
4:43 on this weather alert day. We have a little bit of precipitation that's back to our west. That's going to be creeping in here north of I-85. It could be a little bit of freezing rain, and that's where we have a raindrop that freezes and creates an icy glaze on the surfaces. The biggest thing that we're going to be watching for this morning is north of I-85. If we end up with some slick bridges, temperatures there in Roxborough have dropped down to around 30 degrees, and it's 32 as far south as Rocky Mount. So again, watch out for those bridges this morning. We don't have a lot of precipitation falling right now, so this is going to be a little later on this morning. And by the time we really start to see some of that rain falling, the temperatures may climb above freezing. So this doesn't look like it's going to be a big deal, but if you start to spin out on a bridge, it's a big deal for your day. That's for sure. We have the best chance of rain starting around 8 or 9 o'clock this morning. And again, by that point, temperatures may be a good bit warmer. I'll talk about what those will look like coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We just have a couple of crashes in Wake County on some local roads, one in Holly Springs as well. Nothing major on any of our major roadways this morning. We do have the WRAL breaking news tracker out on the roads this morning. Nick Perlin is there with this driving shot in downtown Durham. You can see right now no rain is coming down at this point, but you can see just some wet road conditions there in parts of Durham. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that this morning as we continue to watch for this precipitation to come our way. Back here now into the WRAL Traffic Center. I want to give you a live look now at all the major routes heading into the airport, particularly if you have a morning flight. All those routes are delay-free at this time. And taking a look at one of those major routes, I-40 and Airport Boulevard, traffic is beginning to pick up just a little bit, but flowing nicely in both directions. You're getting ready to head out this morning. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
The Durham Fire Department is investigating the cause of a house fire. It happened yesterday just before 10:30 in the morning on South Roxborough Street. The home does have significant damage from the fire, the smoke, and the water. Firefighters were able to contain those flames in about 15 minutes, and no injuries were reported.
The city of Durham will swear in the new city manager today. The council appointed Bowman Ferguson to the job last month. He replaces retiring city manager Wanda Page. Ferguson's swearing-in ceremony will be tomorrow night at 7 at City Hall.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is reportedly expected to resign from his position as early as today. That's according to Canadian media. The news was first reported by the Globe and Mail last night. The outlet said that it was unclear when exactly Trudeau would step down, but a resignation is expected to come before a National Caucus meeting Wednesday. The news comes as Trudeau's popularity continues to dwindle in Canada. Trudeau faced a no-confidence vote in September that later failed. The country has a national election planned for this October.
Police in Fayetteville are investigating the murder of a 24-year-old woman. Jaquera Ortiz was found dead yesterday in the area of Tamarack Drive. She was previously reported missing. Police are investigating this as a homicide. Anyone with information is asked to call Fayetteville Police.
A man was killed after his car crashed into a lake in Fayetteville. Now, police say 37-year-old Louis Guadron was driving near Morganton Road around 9 Saturday night. They say his car hit a curb, struck a utility pole, and ended up submerged in McFadden Lake. Emergency crews recovered the vehicle and found Guadron dead inside.
A former hairstylist for Fox Sports claims former host Skip Bayless made repeated unwanted advances toward her, including an offer of $1.5 million to have sex with him. Nusheen Faraji was a hairstylist for Fox for more than a decade. She is now suing Bayless, Fox Sports, and the parent company. The lawsuit claims Fox executives fostered a hostile work environment that allowed senior managers and on-air personalities, including Bayless, to abuse workers without fear of punishment. Fox Sports said in a statement it takes the allegation seriously, but had no further comment. Bayless has not responded to the lawsuit.
New York City's new congestion pricing plan is in effect as of today. The goal is to reduce traffic gridlock. Not everyone is in support of this new system, though. It costs drivers an additional $9 to get on toll roads at peak traffic times. There are 1,400 cameras taking tolls and more than 800 signs advising drivers they're about to be charged. The fight to stop the rollout continued in court until late Friday when a federal judge ruled the Manhattan toll could go forward. Some came out in opposition, saying it could affect emergency response times.
They will be putting firefighters on emergency vehicles, transporting them to and from different work locations, as they're also trying to respond to the many runs that we take in, thousands of runs a day. This is going to cause a serious problem in response times. It's going to be dangerous in New York City.
And that zone stretches from 60th Street all the way to the southern tip of Manhattan. The FDR Drive and West Side Highway are still free until drivers venture onto those city streets. 449, we're coming up on right now. Keeping a close eye on our streets because of WRAL Weather Alert Day and some of the impending weather coming our way. Elizabeth.
So we have a warm front that's stretched here. And of course, north of the warm front, temperatures are chilly. It's mainly going to be north of I-85. We're going to be watching out for issues. It's all going to be about timing with the precipitation, too. It's dry right now. The rain is back to the west. And a lot of that, by the time it arrives here, will encounter temperatures that are above freezing. So really just looking at what's happening here in the north. Now, of course, this is our first sort of winter event that we've seen this season. And so the purple, you may wonder, what is that purple? That's where we have a wintry mix. And in this case, it's likely to be freezing rain. Yesterday, we had sleet, which is an actual ice pellet that bounces and makes a lot of noise. Freezing rain is actually just our raindrop. That's what it looks like. And it hits the ground where it's freezing and it creates an icy glaze. So that's what we could see up near the Virginia line this morning. You can see we're going to zoom in here up around Person County, up around Roxborough. We've had a little bit of light precipitation, and up near South Hill, Virginia, very light precipitation this morning. So not a whole lot happening just yet, but we will see that rain moving in. And at least up near the Virginia line, we have the potential to see a little light glazing. The biggest thing to watch for is slick bridges. This is not likely to be an issue of power outages. It just doesn't look like we're going to have that much accumulation. But slick bridges from, say, Durham northward toward Roxborough and South Hill. From Durham southward and eastward, it looks like we're going to be warm enough as the precipitation rolls in that it's really all going to be rain, and it doesn't look like it's going to be terribly heavy during the morning commute, which is good news. But by 9 or 10, it does start to get a little heavier, and it is going to be a cold rain for all of us, so just keep that in mind. We take a look at our winter weather advisory. It's from Durham and Orange counties northward over toward Roanoke Rapids. Again, some light icing possible there. You could see it in the trees, and watch out for the bridges. It is 29 in Henderson, 31 in South Hill, 29 Roanoke Rapids, it's 32 in Wilson and Rocky Mount, and 32 in Roxborough. So those are concerning temperatures, but again, when the precipitation arrives, those temperatures could be a little higher. It's 33 in Sanford right now, and then from Raleigh southward and eastward, we are currently above freezing. But this is a great day to continue to check in with us as conditions could change fairly quickly. So this morning, up until around 8 or 9 o'clock, near north of I-85 is when we could see freezing rain. Other than that, we're just looking at some widespread rain. It's possible that as we get into this evening, that we end up seeing some of that changing over to a brief snow during the evening hours, but again, not likely to be something that affects most of us. After that, it is clear and cold, and then we get to Saturday, and we have the potential again for some wintry precipitation. We'll talk more about that coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, just about 10 minutes before 5 this morning, because of the weather that's rolling in, we do have the WRAL storm tracker out on the roads this morning. Kelsey Coffey and photographer Charles Bradley are making their way around Orange County this morning. You can see they're not dealing with any precipitation right now, but you can see the little sheen on the roadway this morning as they make their way. Listen, I can't encourage you enough. Leave the house a little sooner than usual this morning just to be on the safe side as we bring it back here into the WRAL Traffic Center. We're going to stay in Durham, give you a live look at I-85. It's a little dark, but you can see traffic has definitely picked up there as we bring it back to Wake County, give you a live look at I-40 and Wade Avenues this morning. Definitely traffic has picked up quite a bit, but flowing nicely in both directions. We just have a couple of crashes in Wake County, only on local roads, not on any of our major routes this morning. You can see they're free and clear from Wendell to Raleigh, all the way to Chapel Hill. 101.5 HD3, that's the station to listen to us if you're getting ready to head into the car right now.
Ken, thanks. A new venture for Elon Musk, the partnership rolling out this year between Starlink and United Airlines.
Increasing benefits for millions. How a new Social Security bill will help workers like teachers, firefighters, and policemen.